Today I have some very exciting news. For one, my computer was broken for like the last 2 weeks roughly. That's why I haven't uploaded. It is fixed. I have just a couple more things to do, but it is serviceable now. It looks pretty good. I got some new parts and we'll be back on schedule. The other big announcement is definitely more exciting, and I just got accepted into the revenue share program for the content creators. So I don't know when, but in the upcoming weeks, months, however long it takes, I will be getting a creator link that you can use in the War Thunder store to get yourself 3% off, as well as when it comes out, I will drop the coldest decal War Thunder has ever seen, and I think you guys will quite like it. This, of course, is only possible thanks to you guys, especially these past couple of months. The channel has really been popping off, and that's just because you're liking, sharing, commenting, all that good stuff. So again, thank you. Now let's get into the actual video here about War Thunder and Gaijin and all that today. And I want to talk about the recently released roadmap. Now, I'm not talking about the roadmap all video because it's probably been beat to death at this point. I'm pretty late, I understand that. But I want to touch on something that's a little less talked about, and rather the lack of what's in the roadmap is the issue here. Now, don't get me wrong, it is good that they're releasing these roadmaps still. It's very helpful. It kind of actually gives us an idea what they plan on working on. And for the most part, it usually contains some good changes. At least the first one did. In the second one, while I'm kind of disappointed about what's not in there, what is in there is pretty cool too. What I'm most excited for, of course, is the separation of chaff and flares on the keybinds for actually deploying countermeasures. You'll be able to deploy them independently now, which I'm very much looking forward to. Top tier has needed that for a very long time. And secondly, what I'm also very excited about is the separation of battle ratings for ground RB and air RB. So maybe this will fix things like the Su-25 being at 10.0 with R60Ms, being able to fight F-86 Sabres. That's pretty annoying, and hopefully this kind of alleviates that problem. Before we get into the main thing that's missing from this roadmap, I do also want to point out that on the first roadmap of last year, they had said something about a severe damage mechanic in which they basically planned on fixing the kill stealing problem that War Thunder has, especially so in missile combat where kill stealing is just so much easier and simpler. Well, they had a severe damage mechanic where if you pretty much crit somebody, so that'd be, setting them on fire, making their plane nearly unusable, and then your teammate finishes off the kill, well, you're still going to get credit for that kill both in rewards and on the stat card. It just won't actually physically say you got the kill, which is pretty cool, and I think that's really kind of a win-win. It solves the issue. There's really nothing to be mad about when somebody steals your kill anymore because, well, you're both getting equal credit pretty much at that point. Real quick, while it's on screen, I gotta switch up your zoomer brain's attention. Look at the kind of sustained turn I'm pulling here with the Su-27. Without the new boosters modification, I highly recommend you take that off. This plane actually doesn't lose speed that poorly. You see I'm sustaining a 10-11G turn on the deck, going Mach 1.1, and I'm just not losing that much speed. Now, of course, when you drop down to the lower speed range, yes, it still loses energy pretty fast, but without the new boosters modification installed, it doesn't pull quite as hard, and so that means that you can maintain some energy through your maneuvers, mainly so when you're just doing your typical top tier flying around the furball type stuff. So it doesn't help a ton for 1v1 dogfighting, but for just navigating the furball and getting your missiles off, I highly recommend playing the Su-27 without the new boosters installed. So that severe damage change sounded really promising. The issue is, where is it? It never made it in that first year roadmap. They said that they just didn't quite know how to implement it yet, which is fine, but we haven't heard anything since. We have no idea when it's going to be added. Maybe I missed it, maybe I don't follow the news well enough, so correct me in the comments if they have announced that. But I was really looking forward to seeing that, and now it's just pretty much radio silence. Now the big issue here, and what absolutely boggles my mind, except it really doesn't because I think I pretty much know why, is 16 versus 16. Nobody likes it. Nobody wants it in the game. We have made that very clear. We're pretty vocal about that, and by we I just mean the War Thunder community in general, on the forums and comments, on YouTube, everything. We don't enjoy 16 versus 16 top tier. It's overcrowded, and in fact I have actually submitted 2 polls that I've made on my own YouTube community that I'll show you on screen that you guys actually participated in, and I submitted those to Gaijin and got very positive feedback from other creators and nothing. They have not addressed any of the points about 16 vs 16 in the War Thunder content creator server, which we have a kind of feedback channel where we can submit feedback about the game directly to the developers. Great people like Smin forward our suggestions, the developers read them, and well, we haven't heard anything about the 16 vs 16. It is without a doubt the most unanimous grievance that people seem to have with War Thunder ARB right now, and pretty much everybody that I know has made some kind of point about it in that feedback channel on the Discord. You guys all seem to agree. I don't know what the problem is. Nobody likes it. We've made that very clear. You would think they would want to listen to the community and make the game a little bit better, or at the very least address it and give us some kind of reason as to why they don't want to listen to us. This is the same company that just removed target pod spotting from ARB though, so making the game better and more enjoyable is probably not very much on their list of things to do. In fact, I kind of believe that the entire reason they're not addressing the 16 vs 16 issue and why it was even created in the first place is simply due to greed. War Thunder is growing at a very rapid rate. The game is much larger than I have ever seen. I've been playing this game since I was like 12 years old. I don't know the math on that right now. I am 22 years old now, so I've been playing War Thunder for a decade, and I have never seen it as popular as it is today. They do a fantastic job at making new content, getting it fresh and interesting, pulling in new players with these modern vehicles. But that comes at a cost. War Thunder never really was a very large game, and so the servers they use probably just aren't the best, and most of you that have played the game at this point have experiences with the servers that can confirm they're a little bit mediocre compared to something like a big title like Call of Duty, maybe Counter-Strike, Pal World maybe in the future. These really popular games are going to have really good servers to sustain the amount of players they receive. War Thunder has never really had a ton of players, so their servers, again, just probably aren't the greatest, and I understand that. The problem is it's time to change. Make a little investment in the community and get some good servers so that we can actually play in a happy environment where our planes aren't getting thrown into the ground. Instead, what I believe happened, they don't want to buy new servers because that's expensive. They don't want a new provider. They don't want to upgrade the current ones. I'm not sure what it is. I really don't know how servers work that much, so I apologize if I come off as ignorant. But the reason that I think we have 16 vs 16 top tier is simply so they could have less ongoing matches happening at once, and therefore it's less strenuous on the servers. If you take a 12 vs 12 24 player match and just shove 8 more people into it, that is a lot less people that are going to be waiting to get a new match and therefore start a new ongoing match on the server, and it's just overall going to be cheaper that way because they can keep on using their older crappier servers and not have as big of a problem. Maybe you're gonna call this a conspiracy. Maybe again I just sound ignorant because I don't know how servers work. That's possible, but it's just the only thing that I can possibly think of as to why they would continually ignore such overwhelmingly unanimous feedback about 16 vs 16 not being fun. We need to reduce player count in our top tier matches, and absolute radio silence. They don't address the current claims, they don't address it in the roadmap, and we hear nothing about it despite being without a doubt the most agreed upon thing possibly in the game right now, but especially for air realistic battle. What do you guys think about this great conspiracy theory? Let me know in the comments down below. I am gonna let this gameplay finish out because, well, I recorded it and so I want to share it, and I will commentate for the end of the video here on what's going on. Of course, there's an Su-27 dogfighting my teammate. I'm trying to save my teammate. I shoot an ER. That's going to be easy. We can consider the teammate saved. Now the problem is that there are 2 to 3 Gripens alive right now, and that's an issue because they could actually still win the game by themselves. And so you're going to see me turn around and I'm going to kind of fly by the Gripen that's actually close to me here because I want to go help one of my teammates. The best way to kill a Gripen is without a doubt just overwhelming it with superior firepower and just outnumber it. And so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to see if this Gripen is interested in taking an ER. He's not. He's flying pretty well to avoid it, as well as he's spamming his countermeasures. And so here we go. We're just going to go help the teammate. There's another dogfight going on over there. but I just figured that this one's closer and I want to save this guy. He looks pretty slow and in dire need of health, and then he just sacrifices himself and takes out the grip in the process. So I guess that takes care of that, but there's still another Griffin, a MiG-29, and a Griffin behind me. And so it seems like the MiG-29 is going to be an easy target here. I'm going to lock him up, see if we can get an ER off, and I think I just switched to R73. At this range, even a head-on R73 is not going to be flared. And then I have some new keybinds due to the new PC. I kind of fumbled the bag on that one. I could have definitely killed that Griffin with ease as well, but I was panicking over my keybinds. Nonetheless, my teammate seems to be doing a good enough job at staying alive. It doesn't seem like he's in dire need of assistance, and so he doesn't actually end up dying, so I don't feel quite so bad about that. Even with all the countermeasures the Griffin has, if you launch an R73 in the interval of him pre-flaring so that it actually locks onto the target, if you're within a kilometer, he can't flare it. The R73 is just too strong of a missile. The IRCCM is too good that if you put that R73 within a kilometer of the target, it's not going to care about the flares. And you're going to see the same thing here. I'm going to wait until I get really close, drop it on his forehead, and even his little pre-flaring countermeasure periodic interval is not saving him there. I've been having a lot of fun with the Su-27, especially so because of the lack of new boosters modification. It really does help for zipping around in ARB. I recommend you try it out. Let me know what you guys want to see in the comments down below. We're probably going to have the SAR evasion video up very soon. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you then.